About it. Delve into the world of relationships, business, and politics with hosts Lamar Clark, Dorshell Clark, and Dominique Hagler on People Think About It, where thought-provoking discussions abound.
Okay, we were back here at People Think About It. Today is a great day for some people that are in love, and there's a great day for people that's trying to find love.
All right.
And we call this day Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple of guests in the house, and what we're going to talk about Valentine's Day today, we're going to talk about, is it real or is it overrated? We want to thank our guests today. We have Keith and Pam in the house.
Amen.
Keith and Pam also runs a marriage ministry called For the Better or Worse.
Wow.
So, hey, that's a great title because, even the word says stay together. You're in it for the good and the bad till death do you part. And a lot of people avoid that, because it's so easy to do other things. But today we're going to get into talking about Valentine's Day.
Okay, let's do it.
Is it real or is it overrated?
Okay.
And, me and my wife, when she first met me, I told her about Valentine. I thought Valentine's Day was so much overrated. I thought it was a day of pressure. It's a Hallmark holiday. So anytime Hallmark wants to make money, they come up with all these holidays.
Right.
And I sit back and say, well, if I love you no matter. I can't let one day determine whether I love you or not.
Absolutely.
I was looking at Good Morning America this morning, and they was talking about probably over $2 billion will be spent today, and the average cost is about $180 that people will be spending. And you see these people spending. Some guys out here got 2-3 girlfriends, got to buy them for everybody. I think that it becomes, for me, and the vision I see is a day of love. And I just don't think that love should be one-sided because when you look at all the commercials and things like buy her a diamond pendant, give her chocolate, give her roses. Well, I'm your husband. What I get? Don't come with no Victoria's Secret. I seen that last night. I don't need that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're going to jump into this, and we're going to get Keith and Pam involved in this conversation, and they're going to give us their little insight about it. And let's just start off the conversation. We're going to let you in. If you want to say anything about yourself before you get started with your comments, you're welcome to. So here we're going to let Miss Pam talk.
Okay, as you said, we are Pamela and Keith Rozier. We've been married, and this April will be 39 years.
Wow.
We were high school sweethearts. So in all, it would be 41 years we have been together. 4 kids and 10 grandbabies.
Okay.
10. I actually have a grandbaby that's celebrating her birthday today. She turns 2. So happy birthday, Alexis.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So we have a ministry, a marriage ministry that's called BOW, Bow for Better or Worse.
Yes.
And only that person know what their worse is. Amen. But we still say for better or worse. And so I thank God for the assignment because we look at that as an assignment to help couples that's going through certain things. We are not the perfect couple, and we always make that listen, we're not perfect.
Right.
Amen. So sometimes when people come and they talk, we do counseling. So when people come, we have to let you know we are not marriage magicians.
Right.
We can't do a little one. You have to do the work. So again, this is our assignment to go out and help marriage people and those that are looking to get married. And so it was so fitting that when we were called to come out on Valentine's Day, amen, we thought, okay, with our red on, we would come out and grace the place and just say a little something, amen, that would just help somebody, encourage somebody on this particular day. But I'm going to let my husband start off. I told him I'm going to follow his lead.
Okay, but my thing is, I want to know, what do you feel about Valentine's Day? What is your? I want you to tell me what your outlook is about Valentine's Day.
Well, first of all, I don't particularly call it Valentine's Day. I call it Happy Love Day. because I understand what this meaning is, like you say, for a lot of people. And it's to show forth your love for that person that you're with, whether you married, whether y'all engaged, whether y'all just dating. And not just for people that are in relationship, but your kids. Some people buy their kids stuff and happy love day and whatever. So I think just being in a relationship and showing forth your love. Love to me is an action word.
Right.
So basically, when you see people go out and get gifts and stuff like that, they're doing something to show their love for that person by giving them a gift. Now, particularly, I mean, when you think of end of day that's put on the calendar by man, it's always a celebration behind it. So if it was Christmas, it's a celebration. If it was 4th of July, it's a celebration. If it's Thanksgiving, anything that's put on the calendar, we just celebrated Martin Luther King's birthday, right? On the calendar. Amen. So everything comes with celebration. So this particular day, since it's on the calendar on the 14th day in the second month, it's a day of celebration. I'm not taking that away from nobody, because for some, amen, they look forward to that. Just like kids look forward to Christmas.
Right.
Is that a celebration?
And I think that also is a day of reciprocation. And I think that that's where the problem comes in at, because it's not, when you see it and you see it from a commercial standpoint, it seems that it's not that reciprocation, because guess what, men like bracelets, men like diamonds. Okay, so we're gonna stop right there. So now, would it be a little different in as far as what you think of what the love they mean if you were shown the same love that you're giving out? Would it make a difference if you was being gifted? Okay, my thing is this. Okay, and I always say this to my wife: if it's not from my heart, I'm not going to do it, because I show you love or I give from my heart, that doesn't mean it's going to come back to me. Right. But I also think because of the way they promote Valentine's Day from a commercial standpoint, it's no reciprocation. Right. Because if you balanced it out, I think that people could appreciate Valentine's Day a lot better if you balanced it out. But when you see it as buy her roses, buy her flowers, buy her balloons, buy her diamond pendant, you really don't hear anything about, buy him a nice necktie, buy him a diamond, buy him, Right. Or, we having this sale, you can get your, some men like roses. Right, but you didn't answer that. I said, would it make a difference on this love day if you were gifted? Well, for me, no, because I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, so it doesn't make me any different. Okay. Because for my personal stand, I could care less about Valentine's Day, because I feel like I show my spouse love year round. Okay. I don't sit back and let one day of a man-made holiday determine whether I love you or not. Right. It's just like I tell people, just because you have on a ring and you signed a piece of paper to say you married, that if it's not in your heart, you're not married anyway. Right. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think that when you sit back and these holidays come back, my wife can tell you, she'll tell you, the biggest holiday to me is a person's birthday, because that's the day you came into this world, and not necessarily be the day you leave this world. Okay. So that is to be celebrated. So I think that, for me personally, Valentine's Day, I could care less. Now let me ask you a question. Do y'all gift each other for Christmas? Do y'all exchange gifts on Christmas? Well, we have a little pattern when we do this. You tell me 3 things that you like, I'll tell you 3 things I like. You might get 1, you might get 2, you might get all 3. Okay. We really, when it comes to gifting, we really don't put that pressure on, because I think a lot of stuff is pressure. If you're with someone that, likes diamonds, right? And then you feel pressured, I got to go buy me a $3,000 diamond because we were walking in the mall one day, and they said, we don't put that kind of pressure on each other. Right. Because if it's a diamond, not necessarily do I have to wait for your birthday, not necessarily do I have to wait for Christmas, not necessarily do I have to wait for Valentine's Day, because I love you all the time. Okay, and I get that. So now when we talk about me and Brother Keith, we don't get caught up in the commercialized situation of Valentine's Day. But I do know that he will go out and get me some balloons, and I don't like flowers because they die too soon, but he'll get me some candy or whatever he feel like he wants to get to acknowledge that this is Love Day. Now, you say, this is what you say. You say, now for Christmas, y'all do a list of 3 things. Right. We don't do nothing.
Because what you saying, I don't have to show you one day I love you for that one day because I show you all year long. I don't have to wait to Christmas and buy him something because we give each other all year long.
I just said.
So, but I'm saying, you say you get a list.
No, I said that's what we chose to do.
Right.
It's just like my wife set up and said, you know what, next year let's just not do it. Let's not get into it. Okay. So I'm just saying, some things are personal.
Right.
You know? So that's what we choose to do on Christmas. That's what we choose to do on birthday.
Right.
Not necessarily, like I said, not necessarily that it's going to happen.
Right.
But in my mind, because we choose to celebrate Christmas, at least I have some idea of what you want, because I think that people give people things that they don't want.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Mr. Keith?
Yeah, because they take it back, man. You're absolutely right about that. What y'all both saying is absolutely right, I believe, But there's always a history behind a festivity of a celebration of something.
Right.
And we need to know the history of it and where it came from. I think that is very important, because we're celebrating something and don't know the history.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A man by the name of St. Valentine, who died on the day of Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, and I thought about that today, St. Valentine Massacre. It was a massacre.
It was a massacre, and he was a martyr, and they celebrated. But, once they begin to celebrate him and his death, as it began to transpire further down the road, paganism got into it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It changes, it shifted. Okay. Now it's more involved, like you said, it's commercialized. So we have to look at that and analyze that. And I believe it's for each his own. If you want to celebrate it, that's on you.
Exactly, and that's what I believe.
And if I don't, don't knock me.
Don't ridicule me or
crucify me or whatever it is. Because I don't. But yeah, I think what you're saying is that love is all the time.
All the time. I mean,
it's all the time.
If you and let me put it in this way. If you have God in your heart, if you have Jesus in your heart, that's all the time. It's not part-time. It's not sometime. It's all the time.
Right.
And if we're supposed to be godly people, to me, that love is all the time. And if it's not from your heart, and that's where a lot of people envy, jealousy, hatred come from, because it's not in their heart.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? The love is not in your heart. You can have hatred in your heart and do mean, vicious things to people. So if kindness is in your heart, you're going to be a kind person no matter what. No matter whether it's February the 14th, no matter whether it's December the 25th, no matter whether it's January the 3rd, if that was your birthday, you're going to be that kind person all the time.
Right.
And like I say, I'm just the kind of person, I don't believe that you let certain commercialized holidays dictate to you how the outcome of your relationship.
Right.
So I know you said about the pressure, and it depends on what that person wants to do for their spouse, their girlfriend or fiance. It depends, because it can be pressure, especially when you're looking at social media. Everything that you see, you feel like I need to follow suit or I need to outdo somebody else.
Right.
I feel like this, again, we acknowledge that this is Love Day, and when you're talking about us knowing God, this is the ultimate love day for us knowing that what Jesus did. True. That him dying, first of all, God giving his only begotten son. He gave something. So if we going to say this is a Valentine, that's why I say this is Love Day, because God showed his love towards us, that he gave his son as a gift for us. So when you start talking about that, now I go into another thing, but I ain't going to do that. So the pressure is not so much what I should do. I think that anytime if you go out of your way, just say, for instance, you go to the Dollar Tree. You know those cards are $2 for $1. Mm-hmm. Some of them $1. Mm-hmm. And just the fact that you say, you know what, I'm not going to be pressured, but I do want the person that I'm with, male or female, I just want them to know that even though I don't particularly believe in this day, I'm just going to do something out the way. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to get you a 50-cent card. I just want you to know I love you.
That might spark.
That's true. That is very true. But we, in today's society, live in a very materialistic world. And for some people, that may work. For some people, they look like, man, you gave me this little dollar card. You know what I mean? Right. So that's why I'm saying the different types of pressure coming, because we can sit here today and talk about it, but it's not. It's getting. We when we tend to personalize it because of. If your husband went to the dollar store and got you a car, you may greatly appreciate it because you look at it as Love Day, right? But you got somebody that's used to buying Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Balenciaga and all, and you go get them a dollar car, it's going to be a problem up in that house.
It could be, but see, that's why we have to know the significance of who we are married to. And then we have to know the significance of who we are getting ready to get married to. So if everything is about materialistic things, then the trueness of the genuineness that's in you ain't there. Because if it's all about what you can give me, what you can buy for me, to show off, then that ain't good.
Right, and we know it's not good. Go ahead.
So let's take us. What you said there is taking us all the way back now, because what we talking about Valentine's Day, we talking about Love Day. Okay,
right.
Love Day is
Love Day.
Love Day.
Happy Love Day, everyone.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is that now you're going all the way back now, and before we get married, before you know what I'm saying,
right?
Before I get into a relationship, because I believe that love should be involved in your involved in you personally, yourself first.
Exactly.
And then once you come and marry or get involved with somebody else, you're introducing and bringing your love into their love. Because this is the thing, because you're taking me all the way back where it originated from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The love, what we're talking about. That's the thing we're talking about. We may have the subject matter of Valentine's. That's fine. But we're talking about love.
Right.
Exactly.
And the love start from God first. Then it comes down and pass through us and through whoever we involved with.
Exactly.
Right.
So if that's the case, we need to go back and evaluate our love.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like you said here, well, Pam, you say you don't address it as Valentine's Day, you address it as a Love Day.
Yeah.
Right? But you still got a multitude of people out there in the world saying it's Valentine's Day.
Right.
For you to say, hey, it's Love Day, they may look at you like, what is she talking
Well,
about?
what is Valentine's Day? What does that equal?
They try to relate Valentine's Day to love.
Love
Listen, what I'm
romance.
saying,
Right.
we relate it to love, but they don't call it Love Day. They call it Valentine's Day.
Okay.
You choose and your husband choose to call it Love Day because the appreciation that you guys probably have for each other is love. You know what I mean? But for somebody else to call it Love Day, they may not even perceive it like that.
Well, you know what? Let me say this. I did say Happy Love Day to everybody, but just put it out there. Happy Valentine's Day as well to everybody.
but you know, so that's what I mean about that. We can get into personalizing things, but sometimes other people don't see how we personalize.
Right.
You know, one of the greatest things, and like when I have conversations and stuff like that, because even when we're talking about love, I think that we talk about God, and we're supposed to have godly love for people, right?
God is,
you know, and when you talk about it from that perspective, right? Everybody don't have that. Everybody does not have that. So when it comes to this Valentine's Day, you know, is it real or is it unrealistic? Or is it, you know, overrated? You know what I mean? Because in the midst of it being real, it's real to some people.
It is real.
It is very real to some people. And I would never take that away from it if it's real for you.
Right.
Is it overrated? It can be overrated for some people. It can be unrealistic for some people.
It can be. Everybody has their opinion about it.
Right. And then, like I said, if we turn around and personalizing it, then we get into what other people what we feel, not what other people feel. I should say it that way. But Keith was touching on, you know, understanding not just Valentine's Day, but where all holidays originated from.
Yes,
because I think that if we get to the point of why things, you know, it's just like we still celebrate Christmas, and people will tell you that Christmas, you put up a tree and everything, that's a pagan holiday.
Yes,
it is.
There's people will tell you that. You know what I mean?
It's scripture.
But to some people, Christmas is real. It ain't unrealistic, and it's something that I've been celebrating for X amount of. Because guess what? It's real to some people, you know, and you choose to do that, whether it's paganism, whether it's godly, whether it's ungodly.
It's on the calendar.
You know, we all make a choice to do that, just like there's people out there today making a choice to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Right.
So I got a question, Lamar. So what if, and then that will go back to even what my husband said. So what if a married couple, let's just say the married couple, that one person believe that Valentine's Day is real to them, but their spouse does not believe that it's real to them. How do you deal with that?
I deal with it like this. If I'm the person that believes that Valentine's Day is real to me, and my spouse thinks that it's I think that it's unreal. My spouse thinks that it's real.
Right.
I'm going to give whether they do it for me or not, because it's the love in me that's making me do it.
Okay.
So if I don't believe it and they do, right, I have that choice to, hey, I'm gonna give them something because they think it's real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or I can say to myself, I'm not doing it, but I think what people ought to do when they get into these relationships, marriages and stuff, you just got to keep it 100. When I first met my wife, I tell her, I don't do that Valentine's Day.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I like that.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
I just told her that.
Right.
So guess what? At that point in time, you got a choice to decide. Hey,
and ain't no need you tripping when we get married, when Valentine's Day come around and don't get you nothing already. I'm told you.
That's what I'm saying. So you understand what I'm saying, Keith?
See, that's where I was going with it. We have to go back. Now the love has to go back to be established of our principles that's going forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what we believe, what we don't believe,
right.
What we like, what we don't like.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, those things has to be implemented even in the process of getting married. That means counseling has to take place.
Right.
See, some folks, what you saying? Valentine is a serious day.
Well,
and if you don't come home with the right thing, say, just like I gave Pam some water this year.
Right.
Next year, I got to give her a big glass of water.
And that's the pressure.
And then after that, the following next year, I got to bring her a gallon. A fountain.
It's got to get bigger every year.
It's got to get bigger every year. It cannot be the same thing. So you're absolutely right. We're putting pressure on our spouses, basically on men, to outdo ourselves than we did before.
Or if you're courting a woman that another guy is courting, you know what I mean? You got to outdo that dude. Because that dude coming with candy, flowers, and more diamond bracelet, well, I like you too, but all I can afford is that $2 for $1 card in dollar. But guess what? If it's in your heart, and to go back to what you said, Pam, them dollar cards that I get, because I sit there and I write it in it. I personalize it. I'm telling you about my love.
Right.
I didn't go buy a card that had words in it. I personalized it.
And that's even better.
That's what I'm saying.
Even better.
So that should have...
It's coming from your heart.
That should have more value than a dude walking up giving to you roses, candy, diamond. I feel like that should have... But again, that's why I say the pressure comes, because as a man, I feel like I got to outdo that next guy.
Gotcha.
I got to outdo him. If I want to win you, I got to outdo him. I got to, because the pressure's on. Because Valentine's Day is a day that if I had to take 100%, 99.9% of it is focused on women. It's not focused on us as guys. That 1% of guy to get a flower or get some candy or get taken out to dinner, he's doing great. That's some guy that's probably been married for X amount of years and this, that, and the other.
Right.
You know? So
I think when Love Day come around, when it comes around, I really think that adults personally are excited about that particular day, that likes to give gifts. See, children are excited about Christmas, but adults are excited about the Love Day because, I believe the man be looking forward.
Pam, let me tell you something. I'm going to keep it 100 with you, right? Hey, Pam, some of these dudes out here buying gifts because they want a gift given to them. And it ain't a gift you know what I mean? It's a costly gift.
Well, I hope they already getting the gift before they get a gift.
No.
Well, you don't think they get it, so they going to get a gift to get the gift.
No, Pam.
What?
They want nookie.
They getting the nookie.
No, they not. Some of them are out here paying to get the cookie. I got to come correct if
they paying to get the cookie.
Yeah, that's what they paying to get.
On Love Day.
Valentine's Day.
You don't think they try to do that on 4th of July?
They might be, but guess what? They might be trying to do it on the 4th of July. But what is the day? The day of love, whether it's real
so they want
or it's a memory. Because guess what?
Oh my!
If I'm trying to date you, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to date you. Remember, I say there's another guy involved. You weighing your options, right? We both kind of know what you like, but I guarantee one dude is going to try to outdo the next dude.
It's competitive, right?
one dude might be able to, like I say, buy you. You might say, I want a Louis Vuitton bag. He might be able to go buy you that Louis Vuitton bag, come with a balloon tied to it. I love you. The next dude, he come, like you say, with them dollar cards.
And I guarantee that dollar card going to do it every time.
But that's to you. That's to you.
Oh, Lord.
See, and this is the thing.
We are in a
Go ahead, Keith.
You're absolutely right. We're in a materialistic world here. And we have to understand that. That's why Valentine's is so important right now, because it's commercialized and it's presented in a fashion where that we have to give gifts. We have to give gifts. And it's, like you said, more so from men to women. We have to give gifts, and we have to supersede what we gave last time.
Right.
I think it's so superficial.
But that's life. But that's to you. But let me ask you this, and I'm gonna reverse a question on you.
Give it to me.
I'm gonna reverse a question
ready.
on you. Okay. Whether it's Love Day, whether it's Valentine's Day, right? And because you guys are marriage counselors, right? Mm-hmm. And I go here. When we get married, we symbolize and close our marriage with rings and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. But the actual love should be in your heart.
Exactly.
So if I'm married and I take that ring off, am I still married?
You are.
If I go and our house catch on fire and that marriage certificate catch on fire, am I still married?
You are, because you don't get enough.
So what I'm saying is, you got people that symbolize, if you take that ring off, we're no longer married. No, you're married.
Yes.
If that paper burn up, you're married.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? So the point that I'm getting to is just like Valentine's Day. We allow things to symbolize, to symbol our love for a person. Okay. You know what I mean? That if I woke up every morning and said, sweetie, I love you, or I just so happen to walk by you and I kiss you on the cheek and say I love you. You know what you do? Know what most people do? What was that about? Or why
Especially
did you do
if you're
that?
not used to doing it.
They want to know why. And I say, well, I did it because I love you. Why you love me? See, it's always got to be a why afterward.
Well, again, if that's something that's not being done, not being displayed, if my husband went a whole month or two and we wasn't really feeling each other in that way, we talk or whatever, but if you just wake up one morning and you go cook me some real good breakfast and put some strawberries and a flower, what's that? And it ain't Valentine's Day or Love Day. What's that for?
Because I love you, and that's what was in my heart to do.
What's the deal though? Why we ain't been doing all this?
Because guess what? Maybe Keith and I was sitting down talking, right? Man to man, right? And I said, Keith, you know what? This would work. I get up in the morning and I cook my wife breakfast. Okay. Give her a little rose because she like roses. Right. And I just do it just because.
Okay.
Right. And then he go home and say, you know what? Boom. Me and my wife got this great relationship, but I've never done it, so I'm gonna try something different, right? Okay. But as a man, you don't want him to say, well, Lamar said this is what he do for his wife, so I'm gonna try it with you. It has no value to you. Exactly. But if he sets up and says, I did this because it was on my heart, and you ask why, he said, I just wanted to do something nice. Okay. Why you have to keep explaining why? You don't see, sometimes you gotta leave the why out of it and accept and embrace the niceness.
You're right.
Because another man is not gonna go home and Keith goes, and like you two guys sitting here lovely today, Keith has on a red jacket. To celebrate his love day. You have your red jacket on to celebrate your love day.
I love you.
You know what I mean? So that's y'all symbolization of love, that y'all showing each other love, right? But if he does something that sometimes you have to take, and I think a lot of women need to learn it, to take the why out. You know, sometimes embrace. Sometimes embrace. Go ahead.
So now, since you're giving that to me, as far as him, just up randomly want to cook me breakfast.
No, I said. Remember, I said he might have came and talked to me.
But check out now. What if I had talked to my cousin, and we just talked about me going to get some lingerie? And we don't do that. So, no, I'm saying we do, but what I'm saying. And we don't normally do that, right? And so one day I just go get some lingerie and I put my lingerie on and put my little smell good and fix my hair. Probably put another wig on, whatever.
Right.
And I
think I'm going to ask why?
And I ain't never.
Well, I can tell you that.
You think I'm going to ask why?
And I don't do that. But I just pop up out the blue and he look and say,
Do you think I'm gonna ask?
Men are not going to.
Most men. Ask a question.
No, most
you
men.
ain't going to ask a question.
No.
Most men.
Oh,
you know what?
He take the time.
No.
Hey.
Where you get that from?
Oh.
No, I'm going to tell you something. This
Please tell me.
We might talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, but you got to understand. You got to understand some things.
Okay. Help me.
Our minds operate differently.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We have most men.
Okay.
And they can say they don't or whatever, but most men have big egos. It's nothing but an ego with yourself.
Right.
Because if you take the lingerie thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Keith told me as a man, you know what, man, I was doing this and talking to my wife this, and she went and bought some lingerie and this. I'm not going to go home and tell my wife. I may use some of the dialogue or lingo that he said, but I'm not going to say, well, Keith told me to try this. I'm not going to do that as a man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to set up and ask you why. Most men, I'm not going to say no man won't ask you why, because, yeah, it may be something strange to them. But most men are not going to set up and ask you why. It's just like what Valentine's Day. If you came and handed your husband a rose and you've never ever done that, right? More than likely, he going to look up and say thank you, and he probably going to set it to the side or something like that. But he not, why you buy me this? You know, he might say, why you buy me this? And you say, well, I just want to do it because I love you. Okay, that's how simple it is with us.
Now, let's go.
Simple.
Go ahead, Keith.
That real simple.
Now, let's go. What? Give me some positive aspects of. Let's look at the positive aspects
Okay,
of.
let's look at the positive.
Of Love Day.
Okay.
I mean, what are some of the positive aspects you can see that this specific day could be positive for somebody?
I think that the specific day could be positive if you take the pressure part out of it.
Okay.
If you do what Pam said, be open to something different.
Okay.
Even if that person, I use the dollar store a lot because you said that, even if that person went to the dollar store and embrace that. Maybe that was the best they could do at the time.
Yes.
Maybe that's the best they could do at the time. So embrace it.
Because you show some effort.
Even if you're like me, you're a guy, even though I don't really get into this, but it's been times that Valentine's Day have rolled around, and guess what? I go into my kitchen, I cook, I set up the dining room table like we're in a restaurant, and I set up, turn down the lights, turn me some jazz on, light some candles, and we have dinner, right?
On the Love Day.
On a Love Day, because I do it sometimes, but it's not all. But I do it because it's in my heart to do it.
Okay.
And because it's in my heart, and I know it means something to my spouse.
Say that again.
And I know it means something to my spouse.
Say it one more time.
But I'm not going to say it one more time. But in the same token, my spouse has to understand it doesn't mean nothing to me. So don't get bent out of shape if I don't do anything.
Okay, see, then that's
go ahead, Keith.
That's the balance right there. Now we got to deal with. We got to deal with one believe, one don't believe, as you were saying earlier, and one accept, one don't accept. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is a place right there that we have to be consciously within our mindset to understand according to our spouse. Now, if you don't believe, that's fine. I can understand that. But if you believe, that's fine. I can understand that. How can we come to a common ground right there?
Because we have to, what's that saying? You have to agree to disagree. You have to agree to disagree. Okay. You know what?
So I don't do it. I just don't believe it if I don't.
I think, again, I say this again. Especially if you're the person that don't believe, right? It has to be in your heart, right? Because if you do something with envy and spite, it don't turn out well, right? And like I said, there's been times on Valentine's Day that I went in the kitchen, cooked, lit candles,
beautiful,
because at that time it was in my heart, and I know it meant something to my spouse.
Okay.
And when I don't do it, it's not that I know that it's not important to my spouse. I just don't want to do it. But I think that balance that we're asking about, Keith, is to understand. Well, I know this man loves me, that, you know what, if he didn't do it, I know he still loved me. If he didn't do it, if you're going to let that day question whether this person loves you or not. Now, mind you, let's look at it like this. We done dealt with the whole month of January, 31 days, right? We get 2 weeks into February. Mm-hmm. And those 2 weeks into February, and because I don't do something on Love Day or Valentine's Day, you're going to tell me I don't love you? Come on, that's crazy.
It is crazy. It is kind of
That is
crazy.
crazy.
Somebody would say
I mean, it is.
that
It is.
don't
It
love
is.
them.
I mean, it is kind of crazy
Okay.
if that does happen.
I mean, because I'm saying it from the perspective, like you say, that my spouse, this day means a lot to them, but it doesn't mean anything to me. So I choose not to do anything, but I still love you.
But can I say something, though?
You
Lamar?
sure you can say
You
whatever you
said it might mean something to my spouse, but it don't mean anything to me. And I have to say this, that if anything that makes your spouse happy should make you happy. If you saying I'm doing this for her to make her happy, I should be happy that I made her happy. Not that it don't do nothing for me, but because I did this for her and I see a smile on her face, puts a smile on my face. So to say, well, I didn't do it because I don't want to do it, sometimes, and I ain't saying, I'm going to say some men are very selfish in their acts and what they do. You can't say, I don't care when you married to somebody, because however they feel, you should feel. Now, you might not jump off the bridge because they jumped off the bridge because they got a card. But the fact that they was jumping around, I'm just happy because I made my wife happy. So it shouldn't be, well, because it means something to her, it don't mean nothing to me.
Now, let's see this now.
Get with it. Let's get with it.
Because you may, I'm not just talking about you, I'm just talking in general. The person that don't believe expect the other person to accept that you don't believe. Now, it has to be vice versa. The person that do believe and the person that don't believe has to accept that the person that do believe. So there has to be a balance there. Because so now, even though I don't believe and she believe, she's expecting something.
Right.
So by her expectancy of something, I have to let down my guard of my unbelief or my belief or whatever it is to accommodate her belief. Now, I'm not saying that tomorrow she said, okay, I agree with you. I don't believe neither.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. I don't believe that neither. But I have to take in account of what she believes and to accept that. Because that's her belief.
But you have to take into account what I don't believe.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
You have to take into account as well.
That's where balance come in, right?
That's where the balance come in at. Then the balance got to come in there. Okay, all right, let me see. Well, let me try to work this out here. Well, I do give you some. But my babe, you know I don't believe this. Now, she know you don't believe this. But because you believe it, I'm going to get something for you anyway.
You know what? You just brought up a good point. I'm not saying because
Let's see what I say.
Because let me tell you something. There are things that people, and I'm talking in general.
Yeah.
There are things that people that don't believe, right? People don't believe in Christ,
right?
But you keep feeding them the word, and it can change it. Right. So what I'm saying to you, whether okay, my wife, when I met her, right, and I shared with her. I don't celebrate Valentine. I don't do this. I said, to me, even bigger than Christmas is your birthday. I said, the reason your birthday means so much to me and my birthday means because this is the day they told us we came into the world. Right? This is a day that is, from a birth certificate, is the true day that you was born. Because people challenge whether Christ was born on December the 25th. Right. People challenge whether Martin Luther King's birthday the 16th or the 14th and all that. But we don't challenge. If they told you your birthday is December the 5th, you don't challenge that. That's what you celebrate every year. So when I met my wife, I told her celebrations of birthdays is very important. She wasn't that big on birthdays at first, but guess what? When I started doing things like, okay, this is the birthday and this and that and other and other. Well, then she started, not that she didn't believe in birthdays, but she started being more into celebrating birthdays.
Now look at that.
So what I'm saying, the part of the balance is that sometimes when a person does not believe, because like I said in the beginning of this conversation, 99.9% of things that happen on Valentine is catered to the woman, not the man.
Right.
So that's why you probably have a lot of brothers could care less about Valentine's Day, because I think love is a thing that's reciprocated.
It is.
When we accept Christ's love, right? When we accept Christ's love, He gives us love, we give it back to him.
Right.
You can't. I just don't think you can be successful. You can't be successful in a marriage. You can't be successful in a relationship unless you're willing to give and receive.
You better say that.
That's the only way it's going to be successful. So the balance, Keith, is this. The balance is this. If I'm a non-believer in something, no matter how much it means to you, do something to show me that it's real.
Oh.
Do something to show me that it's real.
Okay.
And like I say, maybe you just come. Maybe on Valentine's Day, that man might have never got balloons, flowers, something. I'm talking about from a young man.
Okay.
From a young man all the way to a grown man, he never received anything on Valentine's Day.
Right.
And you, his love.
Oh.
Now you give him a flower. You give him balloons.
Right.
You know what? That joker during the year before Valentine, y'all could have been walking around the mall. He seen some little diamond pinky ring. He like, you know what? Go get that joker and wait till Valentine's Day and give it. They say, you know what? This is how much my love is for you.
And
that I seen that you really wanted this, and because I love you, I didn't want to go buy it then. I wanted to go by because February 14th is the day for us to celebrate love.
Look at you. Look at you.
Oh, I can break it down.
Look at you. Broke it down.
I can break it down because you got to understand some people experience trauma in their lives from young age to grown people.
They do.
You know what I mean? And you have to figure out a way, as Keith is saying in this, to balance that thing out.
Gotcha.
And you know what? Sometimes it might not work, but don't get discouraged.
Right.
The first time you ever introduce somebody to Christ, they ain't bring it in.
Right. But they watch your life. And they watch what you do and how you respond and how you act. And sometimes people are like, I want to know what they know. I want to do what they do. I want to have what they have. And so you have to win sometimes people over. And we'll just say for Love Day, that if somebody that don't necessarily believe because of trauma, whatever happened in their life, but that their spouse continue to give because they believe, somewhere something is going to click in that person.
What did Christ do? No matter how much you're
He
sinning,
still loves us. Come on, this is Love Day, John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave. Yeah. So when we understand, I know I'm getting excited. When we understand that if you continue to see my love walk, you continue to see me being consistent in what I do for you, how I do it for you, when I do it for you, somewhere, someday, it's gonna click.
And there's the balance.
And that's the balance.
So so what you're saying, I mean, that's powerful. That's powerful. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is that, as I just hypothetically, we use this day to be a giver. Okay. But as we give, we're giving based upon our love towards that individual.
Right.
So that individual to understand to the point as we give or have given or gave, they will understand it's not about the Valentine Day celebration.
Right,
exactly.
Right.
It's about the celebration of love that we have towards one another.
Exactly. And so happened it fall on February the 14th.
To make you feel extra special.
Right. And so happened it fall on February 14th because it's the thing that the world wants to celebrate love. And I just think that that's the answer for the balance because, you know, if it's just like sometimes when you look at it, like you can go into like the hood or something and see these kids run around. That's all they know is the hood.
Right.
You take them outside their environment, their mindset change, their heart change.
Right. Yes. Right.
Because people are taken out of the environment. But if you don't come and take them out of that environment, they in that environment every day.
That's right.
They're going to do what that environment
That's
do.
right. That's
you
right.
You know what I mean? And they could know better. And they surely want to do better. You know what I mean? You know, I heard someone say this saying, I may have done what they say I done, but that's not who I am.
Not who I am.
Exactly.
That's not who I am.
Exactly.
I might have done what they said I done, but that's not who I am.
Amen.
And I just think that a lot of times that we have to sit back and you know, like I say, if it's a day about love, then I'm a strong believer. Love is in your heart.
It's in your heart.
And if you do something outside of your heart, if I do something for my spouse or I do something for a friend or something because I'm looking for a motive or I'm looking for something in return, it's not real.
You're right.
It's not real.
It's not, but you know what? There are people that truly love. and they love to give, and they love to see a smile on that person's face. So some people just look forward. We say Love Day, but some people are really looking forward to Valentine's Day. They already bought the gift last year.
Right.
They just waiting on February 14th come for them to say, this how much you mean to me. You are just that special to me, and I want you to know. So whether I get you a card or a car,
so I
want you to have.
But it has to be from your heart.
It does. I say it. There's some people that truly love to give.
So I don't need to get you now. You're right.
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. Now, but really, if you want to go and walk in the store and get that 50-cent card, look, I'm serious. It don't take a whole lot.
But you know what?
Just write something. Let me know something. See, it's all about effort. You said I got up and I cooked breakfast. That didn't cost. You bought the groceries, but I'm saying you didn't have to go in the mall.
But then you turn around and want to know why.
Not a Valentine's Day.
No, you said
on Valentine's Day. Now, if you don't normally do that,
you said if this is something you don't do,
if you don't
I want to know
that.
why you doing it. That's what you said.
Well, and you know what your response would be, just to solidify, just to get me satisfied with the answer. Baby, I thought about how special this day was and how special you are.
But you tell me what to say. He just said,
I did it just because. What I'm saying, but when a woman say, why? Baby, because I love you.
But what if he don't want to go through all that, baby, I love you and all that? So let's say he don't want to go through all that baby stuff. You asked him why he do it.
Baby.
You asked him why he did it. He said, I just did it because I wanted to.
Just did it because I wanted to.
So you don't think it'd be different if you had said, I just did it because I love you, which shift the atmosphere?
Why can't you? Why is it always about shifting the atmosphere when that was my atmosphere? You took my atmosphere away from me because I brought you breakfast, first of all, and then you asked me why, and I said, just because. And now you want me to change that. And wait a minute, listen to me now. You want me to change the atmosphere because of your emotions and your feelings, and you want the baby, and me give you an explanation. But you just took my atmosphere away from me.
But let me tell you something. But if you come at me and you talking about jet because, and I think you got an attitude, you done took my appetite. I don't even want the breakfast.
But who said I didn't?
You gonna get the breakfast back because your attitude.
No. Who decides whether I have an attitude?
You said because I want to.
Okay, I didn't say it with an attitude.
How you gonna say it?
I mean, you say.
Tell me how you gonna say it.
I bring you breakfast.
Now let's role play.
We're gonna role play.
Okay, let's do it.
I brought you breakfast in bed. Now.
Thank you so much, baby. Oh, why you do this?
Because it was in my heart.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you.
That's it.
You about to say I love you back?
No, I'm going out the room by then. I'm out the room by then. See, I'm out the room by then. You ask me why, and I'm saying from a male perspective. You asked me why, I answered your why. I'm gone.
You gone.
I'm gone.
You're gone.
I answered your why.
Right.
Now you want to see, and this thing. You want all this other emotional stuff. First of all,
we're emotional.
Let's role play.
Let's do it again.
First of all, you know I'm a guy that I really could care less about Valentine's Day, but I did it and brought you breakfast because I
appreciate it.
Okay, but you asked why? Hey, because that's just something I wanted to do.
Thank you.
I'm gone. You said thank you. I'm gone. I'm gone now. I got to go get my breakfast when my pancakes burn up.
Okay.
But see, because of the emotional side that you had,
we are emotional.
But it goes back to what Keith said. Somewhere you always got to find a balance. Because is it really all about you or is it about us? How do I feel sometimes?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're sitting here and saying, well, it's because we are emotional people. Me and my wife struggles through that sometimes. Okay. Because she didn't want to have conversation, and I go, First of all, I always explain, if I don't have an answer, more than likely I'm not going to have a conversation. Okay. If I don't have an answer, because I'm not just going to sit up there and say something that don't even make sense or something to appease you that I really don't mean.
Okay.
Right. So I listen to you.
Right. Okay, good.
I think that's an opening of the gate and the door.
Okay.
And somebody told me this a long time ago too. When somebody, like you come to me as my spouse or something and you're venting, not necessarily you want to answer. You want me to listen.
True right. So now let me tell you about women.
True that.
It's not so much that we want you to listen to us. We want you to understand us. So as women, we need to be understood. You can hear what I'm saying, but do you understand what I'm saying?
But your understanding, my understanding can be totally different.
It could be totally
And
different.
that's why we come to have a conversation. So if you don't open up and say, then I don't know if you understand.
And that's when we got to get to the point to, here's the balance.
Okay.
To agree to disagree.
Okay.
It ain't gonna always go my way, but it's not gonna always go your way. So we gotta agree to disagree. But eventually, just through being together long enough, you learn each other's habits, ways, and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. If you know that I'm not that great of a communicator from an emotional standpoint, not that I don't know how to communicate, but when it becomes very emotional, and I'm the kind of guy that's gonna sit back and just say, I hear you, and this and that and the other. You have to know that's who I am.
So do you shut down?
No, you don't know why? Because I'm giving you an ear. I'm giving you what you want. Because more or less you just want to get off that load off you. You want to express. You didn't ask me. You did not ask me to reply. You did not ask me what you think or anything. You just went and unloaded on me. You see what I'm saying?
So how should that approach be? For two people to be able to talk, how should that approach be when somebody's coming?
I would say that. I would say, like, okay, like sometimes when I go to my wife and I'm unloading, I'll be like, hey, I'm just unloading. I just tell her I'm unloading, right? Or sometimes I'm like, hey, this, that, and what do you think? So I've opened the door for dialogue because I asked her what she thinks. Okay. When I'm unloading, I ain't asked you anything. I'm just unloading. I'm trying to get some pressure off of me. Mm-hmm. But if you want to add your thought process, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for your thought process. Okay. You're my spouse. That when my load get heavy, you still help me pick it up.
So when you go, you say, well, I just want to release what I'm feeling. I don't need a response. Is that how you go?
Exactly.
And exactly. So I don't want a response.
I don't need a response. Sometimes I think that people have to understand that people go out here in the everyday world and deal with different things. Mm-hmm. And they have no one to unload it on. Mm-hmm. And when they do unload it on somebody that they don't know or somebody don't like, it becomes anger. Mm-hmm. If I can come to my spouse, no matter how heavy the load is, and I can unload it on you without anger, I'm just expressing myself, telling you what's bothering me, what's hurting me, what I had to deal with, this and that and the other. I'm not asking for you to. I ain't ask you anything.
But let me say. So what we just said something about the difference between listening and understanding. So is it all right for her just to hear what you're saying?
How about you open the door?
And understand what you're saying?
No, I want you to understand. But how about you says, would you like my reply? Would you like to hear my reply? Mm-hmm. See you, and then if he says yes, he's opened the door to conversation. Oh. If he says right now, you know what? I just need you to listen.
Right. Okay. True that.
So what he's saying is, I don't need your reply. I just need you to listen. Mm-hmm. Maybe later on that day, he might come back and say, out of all the things I shared with you, which at that point in time, that's where your understanding comes in at.
Okay.
That's what.
That you can regurgitate back to him like, did you say this? So I'm regurgitating back to you like, you said your heart was heavy about this situation. Now you want what my thought process is. Mm-hmm. See? Now you open the door for conversation.
Nah, that's cool. That's cool if it's presented that way. That makes sense. It's definitely presented that way because, like I said, I come to Pam sometime and like I tell her, I just want to some things I need to release.
Exactly.
And I just need you to be her ear. I need you to be her ear right there. Mm-hmm. And there are some times that she have done, given me some type of feedback, and I didn't want it at that time. Right. And it become frustrated because I just need to get this out. Because later on we can talk about this and dialogue about this. Vice versa too.
Right. Exactly.
But a lot of times she come to me, I got to be willing. I got to be willing in my mind. I got to be willing to understand that she wants to talk or she just want me to listen.
Exactly. And that's becoming an understanding.
That's the understanding.
Yeah, because I don't want you to just listen. Right. I want you to understand.
But you have to open that door for understanding and listening.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we want to thank you guys for coming on, but we want to have you guys back because we talk about a lot of relationship things and the ministry of how relationship, marriage, and things, you make them stronger, and I'm quite sure you guys have good information. We want to just close out this show just thanking you guys for coming and giving your viewpoint about Valentine's Day. And like I say,
Love Day.
Valentine's Day, Love Day. Is it pressure? Is it realistic?
Yes.
Or is it unrealistic? So that's for our audience out there to decide what it means to them.
Yes.
Yes. Because what it may mean to you may not mean to me.
Exactly.
But, we want to make you understand that love is a thing of reciprocation,
action word.
Just learn to love. Just learn to bring love into it. We want to thank you guys for listening to People Think About It. Once again, you can reach us at peoplethinkaboutit.com. You can go to peoplethinkaboutit@gmail.com. If you want to leave us something in our email, we'd like for you to subscribe to our station at People Think About It. We on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all the outlets of podcasting. And once again, we want to thank our guests. We want to thank them for coming in. We're going to have them back. We're going to get deep into some relationships.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we want to thank you guys for listening to People Think About It.
You have been listening to People Think About It. Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your friends so that you never miss an episode. A new episode drops every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Thank you for listening.